Good morning, welcome to the morning review on Friday the 29th of January. So last trading day of the month, and here we are. A month flown past so quickly. Right, look at the euro dollar first, and it's probably not a lot of change in the month. I mean, we started at 108, we're sitting there at 109, so it's marginally up, or well, actually we're a bit less than that, just over 109, so no significant change in the euro throughout this month. Where to today? Well, we just sold off from these highs again. Every time we seem to get a bit of a high, we've sold off. However, we're managing from the 4-hour perspective, and we're managing at the moment, or been managing to retain these higher lows and pushing on the higher highs. So maybe we should be looking for the long side once again. We've already hit daily pivot, we've already hit the S1, which takes out some targets we'd normally be looking for on the euro in the mornings, but I think it's really a case of watching and seeing if this does reverse and starts gaining back some ground, because as I say, the trend has been pull back, rally, and we may see the same again this morning. I might have to look at the shorter time frames for entry though. Okay, moving on to the pound dollar, and well, yesterday ended up a solid day in the end. It pulled back early in the Asian session, later in the during the evening, and pushed back. And what were the data coming out from the Bank of Japan? I think it's really pushed it a little bit further, and obviously given it a little bit of price action. We're heading up towards that daily 21 now. I'd be surprised if we don't see that get hit. Again, we're a bit like the euro in a sense. We are starting to put these higher lows in, and it's looking more favourable for the pound. We air kissed the pivot. It's on different brokers, and my broker is actually being hit, and I should imagine it's possibly being hit on others. We are double top territory here, and it's sort of floundering somewhat. I'm just looking to see if we see any change at this point, where we see a sell-off, or if we're going to see some sort of break of these highs and push on towards the R1. It's slightly, as I say, slightly indecisive, but the trend is certainly that of these higher lows is working its way through. Dollar yen. Now, what have you done to our dollar yen? Okay, so they've moved to a negative interest rate in Japan, Bank of Japan, and we've seen this huge spike. I say huge spike, it's relatively huge. Spike running up, catching the monthly pivot. I do like it when stats are hit. It's running some resistance here. Now we may see a bit of a pullback from here, but with a negative interest rate, it does make it more of an interesting currency once again for carry trades. So it may become the new old carry a possibility once again. What people are going to trade against, I don't know, but it'll probably be some of the exotics would be going absolutely mad. But anyway, certainly, whereas we often see the gains soon given back, we may see this kept, possibly at least. At the moment, just continuing pushing up there, back towards that monthly pivot. I think some profit being taken in between here, and it's at the moment it looks like it's surging on that third wave. But I'll be steering clear of the yen today, as most days. Right, Aussie dollar. Aussie's again continued in its rather solid trend it seems to be in at the moment, and 4 hours it's had a couple of retraces, but not overly significant, and we've seen some decent movement up here, and it's pushing up pretty well at the moment. Looking through the time frames, we're putting higher lows in and higher highs. So we've seen higher lows, higher highs. It's just running. It's already hit the daily pivot R1 today, making it a little bit more difficult to work out where next. Already breaking yesterday's high, so watch this carefully. So no obvious signs of any divergence kicking in here. Nope. So all seems relatively sound there, but not so easy to identify a trade. Oil's pushing up here. Let's just run back to the oil. Obviously, yesterday we had some spiky action as there was comments that there might be a meeting in February. So that was all it needed to get oil on the up. It's having a bit of a rally at the moment. Realism is that meeting has not been agreed yet, and if it is, it will be in February at some point, earliest February, which is obviously just around the corner. But it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. But oil's it is getting a bit of traction there, so it's giving the Canadian dollar a bit of a boost, and we've seen the Canadian dollar relative to the American dollar strengthening and hence moving back south. Looking at a couple of things here. Yeah, I mean, the strength of this move is a bit questionable, I guess, when you look at some of the indicators. But it already caught daily pivot today and edging its way down further, maybe back to test these lows again in the S1 at some point this morning. So I think it's just a matter of time before we see oil reverse back down again. But obviously, we've got to wait until it does it and shows its hand. But for now, the Canadian dollar is edging or regaining some of its losses. Right, that's it for me. News-wise today, we have got some news, or some more significant news coming out. He says, well, we've still got possible further announcements and comments coming through from the Bank of Japan, I think. I'm not 100% sure if they've all through yet. In fact, I've seen my thing flashing away, so I assume that's possibly what it was a moment ago. Beyond that, we've got the European CPI flash estimate. That's not much of a mover at 10 o'clock today. Barely ever does too much, but inflation's a key figure at the moment, and we may just see a little bit more oomph around 10 o'clock. Then moving through to 1:30, we've got more of the better data. We've got the Canadian GDP and the bigger and the more likely one. The Canadian one comes out each month, so it creates a bit of stir sometimes. The more important one is the US advanced GDP. First reading, expects to come out at 0.8. That's coming out at 1:30, so that may give us a decent bit of volatility around about 1:30. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.